Josh, NCAA tournament this week. How are you feeling going into it?
You know, it's bittersweet. You know, the final March Madness I'll be a part of. But the fact that I made it in my last year, it's a cherry on top for me. I'm really excited. Got a good group of guys around me. We have a great head coach. National coach of the year in my opinion. And I'm just ready to see, what other teams have in store for us.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, you've been in this position before, playing on this stage. How does that experience help going into it this time around?
It's a little less nerve-wracking. Now that I think about it, the only difference about some of the games that we'll play here and potentially the second round, and the difference between games at Mizzou Arena, basically the way the court is laid out. There's a lot of March Madness memorabilia stuff like on the court, but the crowd is basically the same. The arenas are pretty much the same, at least for the preliminary round and stuff like that. So it's just about poise, composure, and not getting out of body, as we call it, and just doing what we do.
Yeah, and for you, just looking at Drake the past couple of days, what's kind of stood out to you as you've studied them?
They play really slow, and they use a lot of ball screens. That's two key things that I've noticed. So we just have to maintain our defense, maintain our inner shell, and stay solid. Not every play is going to be won. Not every defensive play is going to be won with a home run steal or energy generating block or anything like that. Sometimes you really have to stay solid. Especially with mid-major teams. I think mid-major teams are some of the most disciplined teams in the country, and Drake is definitely a very disciplined team when it comes to back cuts, screens, offensive rebounds, the whole nine. So I just feel like those two things, the pace of play, we need to control the pace of play, and then just play our pace instead of their pace. And then I think I'm pretty good in ball screen coverage. So just putting that pressure on them, using my frame, using my agility to make it tough on point guards.
Yeah, but when you talk about kind of dictating the pace of play, what goes into that for you? How would you be able to speed Drake up?
Just like I said, they like to put a bunch of people in ball screens. So they'll probably put me in a couple of ball screens. So to just heat up the point guard, right? Because he's the primary ball handler. To speed him up, make him make quick decisions instead of on his pace, and then on offense just put the pressure on their defense. I think that's their goal, right? To use the whole shot clock on offense, so that when they play defense, it's not as hard because they don't have to move around a lot. They think we'll be tired, but Mizzou basketball is all about pace. So we're gonna play fast, and I think once we control the pace of play, it'll be easier for us going down the stretch.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.